Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Trackmania Grand League Winter 2021 prediction contest. Yes, hello everyone, and I am joined today by none other than Mr. Eric Hodal. Hello.
Hello. How is life?
Yeah, life is good for me. Life is very good. Just had a busy day with Full Speed League and also preparing the Trackmania Grand League that is starting tomorrow. And fitting to that, we have the prediction show coming up today. So also from my side, welcome to the chat and to the YouTube, to the Twitch viewers, to the VOD watchers, to everyone in here. So you might think, if you just tuned in, how is this thing working out? I'm gonna go into an explanation. Just for a moment, let me actually do, because haha, there's me. Hello there and welcome. So how this actually will work out, I mean, the community had the chance of doing 16 bets in 16 different categories, but you guys are not doing it by just against the community. So Jector is not betting against, I don't know, against Shamsi, who just subscribed, so thank you so much for that. We have 4 people, so there's Eric, there is me, there is Nekura, and there's also Phoebe, and then there is the community that will also bet against us. So how this works out, as you can see here, there are different values, and the value from the community will be determined by not the average, but the most common vote. So to say, the community has picked, who will win Fall 2020 the most. Let's say Gwen had like 20 or 30 votes for that, and Call had 40, so we're gonna pick Call. So there's no average possible there, of course. And then you can see, I'm not thinking that Eric would have voted for Papu there. I think he would have voted for Gwen, who will win Fall 2020 or like Winter 2021 now. So that's just an example here, as you can see. But you get those respective points. So the points repartition is a little bit different then. So in all those 16 categories, you can get points. You get 20 for first. So if everyone picks Gwen or Carl Jr. at this point and the person wins, so let's say Gwen won, and you get 20 points for that. 14 for the second closest, then third closest gets 12, 10, 9, 8, and so on till 0 points. So you can see you really want to land in that juicy top 3 position. And yeah, there are 6 categories. There are also other categories where you have multiple picks or a player that is a number and it's worth something. So there also we have some sort of what is closer to that, but you will find out everything. So if there's any question, just take a look onto the prediction sheet. But I think we're gonna go into the explanation when we present the results. But yeah, I mean, I talked a little bit too much and I didn't even, ask Eric. What, I mean, just from your gut feeling, what do you think? Will we see a more interesting season this time around that will start tomorrow? Or do you think that it will be, like equal to the prior season?
I guess we have reached a level in Trackmania Grand League when we know what to expect. We have seen 2 official seasons and then 1 beta season. But I think I'm trying to paint a picture that is basically only Carl Jr. and Gwen winning it. But now the latest days, I'm maybe regretting that picture, because now I start to think about the format and to think about maybe this is more of a show where you can end up with everyone winning. So maybe I would have done some different picks than I had once I did sort of speed run through my picks. But I think it's going to be, of course, a good season, and it's good to have competitions back in Trackmania because it feels like it's been a little while. We had a little bit of a too long holidays.
Yeah, true. Events are coming in now. I mean, we had the French regionals just 2 weeks ago. No, 1 week ago. Oh, that was such a busy week for me. So you can see a lot of things were happening in my life. But then there's also the FSL. But like, besides that, not a lot has happened. And I'm also looking really forward of, not only watching, but also casting the Trackmania Grand League that is starting tomorrow. Really looking forward to that. But let's actually start with the first category here, as I don't have a transition for that. But the first category here, so you can see it's working like that. So you have the first category here. It's Bounty Hunter, who will win the most maps. And there you can see the statistics from Fall 2020 on the right. And then you can also see our picks. So I've picked Carl Jr., of course, Eric went for Gwen, as well as Nekura. And then there is Phoebe, who went for Muda. And the community has chosen to pick Gwen. So we see 3 Gwen picks here. That is crazy. But I mean, if you take a look onto the pie, there is 3 players who take half of it. We have Gwen, Papu, and Carl Jr. And I'm actually wondering, why did no one pick Papu there?
He's the most underestimated player in Trackmania. That's for sure. I even underestimate him, but again and again, he's proving to be one of the best players. And I did interviews with 3 players, and one thing that sticks out is that Carl Jr. said that he's more sure that Papu will be top 3 in the group stage than for any other player. So he would put him before himself and Gwen essentially in the top 3. So maybe we and the community are still underestimating Papu even after all these events that he has done well at.
Yeah. So I think a lot of people are underestimating Papu just for the fact that he's not playing that many competitions. I mean, we can see players like Gwen participating in a lot of competitions. Then we also see Afi playing almost everything, as well as Evon, Aurel, you know. And that's why those players are so present. But Papu, like, he's grinding and like putting so much effort into that. And I think Papu would have also been a good pick here. But I mean, why I went for Carl Jr. is the fact that he is the most experienced player. I was also contemplating between Gwen and Carl Jr. here in that picking. But I think it's either way. And now that there's the 100-year bounty for it, that's why the category is called Bounty Hunter, I went for Carl Jr. because I think he will put a lot of effort into that.
Yeah, I mean, now that you mentioned the 100-euro thing, maybe I should have gone for Carl Jr. We know that he likes money, so he's probably going to take it more serious now than he did last season. So,
yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I want to back my boy Gwen. You know that I'm some sort of a fanboy, even though I'm unbiased. But I think Gwen is just going to progress this season as well. Even though his interview with me was not that promising, he said that he basically hadn't trained that much for step 1.
That's Gwen in a nutshell.
Okay, steps 4, 5, and 6 are my steps. So even though it might look dark in the start, I'm still gonna have belief in Gwen. So me and the community, I'm the man of the community, so I'm not surprised that the community and me agree, right?
Yeah, I think, but also Muda, I think, is a pick that we should consider. I mean, a player that has really played well throughout the Trackmania Grand League. Throughout the Open Grand League seasons, pardon me. So a player that is also not to be underestimated. So also Muda, a pick that is reasonable. Of course, we don't see him Maps 1 during Fall 2020. And yeah, I think that's pretty good. Peg is asking, do we see splits of community votes? We have that in some parts, but here I think it was more interesting to see who has actually won the maps, to just give also the insight of Papu, who has won 6 maps. But we have that for other categories, Peg, so don't worry about that. So, I mean, how this works now, so I'm just gonna explain the format again. So, let's say Gwen wins the most amount of maps, yeah? Gwen wins the most amount of maps. So that means that you get 20 points for that. And let's say Carl Jr. wins the 3rd most amount of maps. So he's behind Peg in 3rd position. You get 14 points for that, and the points will add up through all the 16 categories. So that's how it works. But let's go to the next category, Eric. Let's go to the next one. So nice, nice transition here. Okay, so the next step, it's a little bit like a weird one, so like a weird sort of bet, but it's affinity. You see the word game there, Afi, affinity. That was very, very funny, I have to say that. I didn't do that joke this time around. But select 2 steps, you get Afi's points for those steps. So, Afi's points on chosen steps. So, I picked step 2 and 5, you picked step 3 and 5. Everyone has kind of 3 or 5 in that, kind of, as you can see. Then we have Nekura 4 and 5, so a nice ladder there. Then Phoebe also went for 3 and 5 as you, Eric. And then Community went for 3 and 4. So you can see the Afi's points during Fall 2020. Of course, this is not like a sort of relatability to that. But, I mean, something you want to say about that? Or do you think it's like random who gets those points?
I mean, as I said on Twitter, that this is some sort of unusual categories.
Yeah.
And I think this is maybe the most unusual. I know we're going to have some even crazier later, but yeah, this is going to make it more fun just to follow Afi on step 3 and 5 simply because I predicted him to do well there. So I'm going to pressure him on those particular steps. And if he fails, let's say on step 4 or 6 or step 2 like you have predicted, I'm not going to be that mad about it. So it's going to add some sort of fun to it and just a creative prediction here. So, but it seems like everybody agree that step 1 is probably going to be the most stacked step since everybody is trained for that. They had a lot of time to do that. And only Necro has done for step 6, so the rest of us are in the middle. And I guess that's where he performed last season, and that's why we went for it again.
Yeah, fair point there. I was also exactly not picking step 1 because it's the most stacked step, and I think you can lose with one small mistake, you can lose your points there. But yeah, I mean, it will be fun, and also I'm trying to jinx him with my professional jinxing qualities, as you've seen in the prior Trackmania Grand League season as well, where I unfortunately jinxed my own player pack. But yeah, things like that can happen. But as you can see here in this category, so points changed, you get the points for those steps. So, I mean, if Afi just blasts out a, like, I don't know, 100 point step, you will just get those points. So imagine it is step 1 and no one has picked it. That would have been unlucky, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, let's go for the next category here. We have category number 3 coming up. So among the top 8 to 16 of last year, which player will improve the most? So on the right side, we can see the, of course, only 6 players, because we unfortunately had to say farewell to Matt and also to Yannick's. So we see the 6 players who haven't made it into the Trackmania Grand League playoffs. We see Massa, Tween, Evon, Scrappy, Bren, and Riolu. And for that, the points also to that. So who will improve there? So of course, for this category, for Massa, it's hard to improve, or it's harder to improve than for Bren, because Massa has like so much more points than Bren here. And I mean, it's 88 points more. No, 89. No, 92. Nice maths there, Turbo. 92 points more Massa had than Bren. So Massa needs to get so many more points. So I can definitely see the Bren pick. But Eric, why did we pick Scrappy there? Why did we pick him?
Okay, and now I see that it's based on points, and maybe I thought it was based on position, but I'm gonna back my boy Scrappy. I think it's gonna be like he was in the Winter 2020 season when he ended up second in the playoffs. So I guess Bren is the other one I would have gone for, but still, I feel like Scrappy has a higher level on Trackmania Grand League than maybe the other ones has. That is a potential pick here, but I mean, we can end up with Scrappy having minus points. Do we get minus points then? Like, let's say if he gets 69 points, then we get 1 minus or something, right? Or
I know it's only like, let's say if he has -1 point and Massa also made +2 points, just say it like that, then Massa is ahead of Scrappy, and then we have this ranking again. So there's okay, so there's like then who will score the most points, and then you have the point system then. So it's like, then I think you get 10 or 6 points there. I mean, we have to get that. I think it's all for fun, but for some categories, I'm just also not looking through for the points. But, I mean, it's clear who wins. The one who gets the most point difference in a positive way gets the most points in this event. So you don't get minus points. I think you get points concerning to the ranking. So if Massa, from those players, gets the most points, which is, of course, very unlikely compared to what's his prior points, he will get more, or you get the more points from that, if this makes any sense. I think it does. But I was also thinking about picking Bren here in this category, just because Bren was suffering a lot from a point loss in that season. But I went for Scrappy because I think it will be a big season for Scrappy. Scrappy is performing so well at the moment, winning a lot of Cup of the Days, just playing super consistent. And that's what I think, regardless that Scrappy has gotten 70 points, and with that 38 points more than Bren and Riolu, he will eventually get more than 100, 120, 130 points.
Yeah, we live a little bit more scary, I think, now than maybe the community and Phoebe does. I think we are still safer than Necra, who's betting for Riolu. I still need to see him progress before I feel confident about seeing him, because last season was not really good for him. But then if you go back to the same time of the year last season, he ended up like second in the group stage of that. And then Necra has stolen all of our points and sort of a free win here. So it's curious to see, and this is actually a category that you can predict with some sort of reasoning behind it, compared to the last one that was somewhat random.
Yeah, of course. And also Nekura saying my chat, because he can unfortunately not make it since he is currently in a hostel and has not enough 4G, so too bad seeing that. But he's saying Riolu had more busy things to do during fall season. He did the Winter 2020 playoffs and really think he can do really better than Combine. I think so as well. Yeah, I mean, true that. I mean, I've also got some wind with that. He had some personal issues, also moved and stuff like that. And yeah, I think so. But this Trackmania Grand X season is so much harder. I think that Riolo will step up, but it's still hard to like really compete against Evon and Scrappy, who are really stepping up at the moment. And also Tween, they all look so good in the Combine. And then there's also Massa, who's a very fast driver. So I think that Riolo has a chance, but it's hard for him to really be the best out from those players to improve more, you know? That's
fair point.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to the next category. Do you have anything more to say here?
See Massa saying that we are sleeping on him. I'm gonna double the point. Let's see about that.
Well,
if we do, then yeah, I'm gonna be happy for him because I want Massa in the playoffs simply because
yeah, same.
the playoff system soon seems to suit him.
Yeah,
Massa seen him there, but we can think that it's suiting him.
Well, Massa, if you want to double your points, you need to do like the little amount or like less amount of risking. But I mean, it's like hit or miss for you. But I hope that Massa will also make it into the playoffs, as well as Scrappy. I mean, you can really put those players into one player field. Massa and Scrappy being so fast, but also like risky drivers. And if they're gonna make it into a sort of player format, they are so scary and can be players that can eventually go into the top 4, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Okay, next category. We have category number 4. It is highest amount of points scored on a single step. And there you can see the community prediction. And you can see like people went for 120 points. I was like, okay. We are not bronze OGL or something like that. But actually, I have the lowest amount of points. I have 73 points. You have 99. Then we have Nick Hero with 86. 84 from Phoebe, and community has an average of 92. So you have the highest vote there, Eric, with 99 points. How come that?
I mean, I'm positive I'm going to see some big points. I should probably have listed up the points that was from last season. I don't know if you have some sort of stats for that, but I believe Papu got like 104 on some steps. So, I mean, looking at this compared to the other 4 or other 3 I'm against, you, Necro and Phoebe, I feel really confident I'm going to be closest. Me versus the community, it might be close because I think the 90-point range is pretty safe that we're going to see some points there. You have candidates like Carl Jr., Gwen, Apu, Pack. If they keep all the points and don't lose them, they are going to be up there. And I believe that that's going to happen at least on one step, even though maybe multiple steps. So I don't know why you went for 73. It seems like, do you think everybody will lose the points on all of the steps, or?
No, I mean, 73 points does not mean that you lose your points, certainly, but that you can have like a bad map 1 and then you like have map 2 maybe like top 6 or top 7, you know, and you only get the big boy points for top 2, you know. And of course you can get 22 points on a map. But I think that this season will be so hard, and I'm not thinking that a player will suffer from point loss, but a lot of players will do actually. And 90 plus points will be so hard. I mean, just thinking about that 73 points, yes, it's a little bit low. I have to, when I thought about that. But I think, I mean, it's very stacked, but maybe like, I think they're not surpassing the 80 barrier, actually. I don't think that, actually.
Okay. Yeah,
so,
it's fun. It's
yeah,
fun
because it's just so stacked. I mean, 73 is very low. You said that. I also agree. But, I mean, we don't know what happens, you know. But there's also the plus 2 points that we need to consider. That is plus 12 points in total that you could potentially get, of course. But we're gonna see that. And also, let's see what Nekura has written here. With some guys like Massa, Pack, Kaljina, Grand Papu, it could snowball really fast. It will not be surprised if it goes for more than 90 plus points. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. It could go either way. Like the thing that Eric has said there, and then also the thing that I have said, and Massa is also like backing me up with that. Yeah, maximum is 132 points. That is true. Anything more?
I should have gone for 132 just for showing how ballsy I am.
Yeah.
Saying that Bren is going to do it, or Gwen is going to do it.
Yeah, good luck with that.
But I feel really confident about winning this category, to be honest.
Okay. Actually, I was also like, I was surprised when I saw that I'm 11 points away from the like next highest one. So that I'm like really lonely there. So we're gonna see it here. But also the community, you can see the 92 points. That is like pretty coming out of there. So it's pretty clear that the community wanted to go for 92. So really cool to see that they have like also the 90s and 85s and 96. So it's a fair bet, I would say, from the community. But let's go to the next category here and see what that is. We have category number 5, which is not my map. How many DNFs will occur during the season? Also,
look at me and the community. Look at the community person of the year 2019, 2020. He's back in the community once again, right?
Yes, he's back in it again. But, guys, fun fact. Guess in the chat. Guess in the chat. Please do it. How many DNFs were there last season? How many? Just guess. How many?
400.
Like, on all 6 steps, how many were there? 7, 5, 12, 14, 7,
More than
10.
that. Like Matt was still in Trackmania Ground League by then.
32.
Seven
Matt
of
was
us.
playing 9,
Yeah,
20. Considering Matt was playing 38, 20. So, actually, the guy who is closest here, we have Techie, who is closest. We had 30 DNFs.
Oh,
And there you can see how...
I'm winning this as well.
And there you can see how bad my bet is.
That's gonna be on one map, dude.
Yeah, that's gonna be on one map. So, I mean, there was the step where Yannick was playing, and wasn't playing, pardon me. And
Okay.
that's already 6. And we had 30 DNFs. So, that's the research there, of course, that we have done. So, I was also not believing my eyes when I said that, but it was, yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right?
This is another 3 points for me in the community because it's gonna be higher than 7. And then we get the point because we are closest.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Yeah.
So Bobby was saying to me that it was actually 30 DNFs last season. So easy points here for community and yeah, Eric. So 7 is the answer for everything. So let's go to the next one. And you can also see like the average here. So from that, we have just put the average, as you can see, and not the highest vote with 7. So all good. Yeah, Master, so you know what to do, right? Some match fixing. Okay, so next category we have category number 6, On the Edge. Who will finish 8th at the end of step 6? Spam Kappa, Spam Aurel, Spam.
You guys doubting spam? What the fuck, dude?
Nah, not doubt. That doesn't mean doubting, right?
I mean, have you watched Trackmania Grand League? If there is one spot that is sort of safe, I mean, it's even more safe than Carl Jr. at first. Number 8 at the Trackmania Grand League group stage is reserved for Kappa. He's living on the edge every single time, but every single time he's finding himself to be on the right side of the edge instead of the wrong side. So I feel confident in my bet here with Kappa.
Spam in the chat. At least I make it. I make playoffs. Yeah, I mean the Trackmania Grand League season is very stacked, and I mean Spam was struggling a lot in some steps where he was also struggling from severe point losses, especially on season 1 where I was remembering that, and he was pretty close in like almost like every season if I recall it correctly. But I think because Spam is a very experienced and good driver, I think that he will eventually make it into the top 8 as well. But only by a hair this time. And yeah, I mean, Kappa is also a good pick. And yeah, Aurel also very reasonable, since he was also struggling a lot with the point loss and stuff like that. So, but you can also see the community, like 25 votes have gone to Spam. And we have 22 for Massa, then Bren. And the only 3 people who weren't picked, maybe someone has guessed it here, Pack, Gwen, and Carl Jr. So the top 3 hasn't been put to the table. So that is interesting to see that the top 3 of last season is not on there. So you get top plus 5 points for the right answer, so you can see it there again. And yeah, do you think that it will be a close battle between all the 3 that have been mentioned by the picks there, or do you think that someone else could also come in there?
Sure, it's gonna be hard to predict who is essentially gonna be 8 because it can be super close. It can be some sort of Aurel having like he had in Winter 2020 when he was top 3. It could be some of these having a really bad season and not even making it, like
Yeah.
Riolo last season. But I have to be honest, I like my prediction compared to you guys. I think Spam is going to finish higher than 8, and I think Aurel also going to finish higher than 8. But Kappa is going to finish 8, so this is once again 3 points for me. At the moment, it's looking like a battle for second at this prediction show because I'm taking this away already. We don't need to see the Trackmania Grand League season playing out because, well, I'm winning this.
He's winning that. He's so confident, and you're gonna see that as well at the end. Yeah, but also, yeah, Papu 3 votes. I think also, yeah, I'm not gonna go with Papu that he will finish 8th. I think he's a contender for top 4. And then, I mean, the Grand League is so stacked with Muda and Link joining in now that it will be a hard time. And I think something like that is also very hard to predict because the maps can suit you better or worse. You can just have a bad day. And yeah, I mean, Kappa is a good pick, but I think I definitely see Spam in the playoffs. And yeah, also Kappa and Aurel, so those are like more of the players that I potentially see as well. But yeah, let's go to the next category as we have category number 7 coming up. Now, did I miss anything, by the way?
I don't know.
Did I miss anything? I hope I didn't. Maybe I cannot count or something like that. But the next, the next category is step winners. Name every player who wins a step. Okay, guys, you're wondering, okay, why did this 3-head turbo went for 6 picks? But you can see +5 for good or for winning, and -1 for wrong or missing. So you get only 1 minus point for missing. And I went for Pack, Scrappy, Cole Jr., Gwen, Bren, just for my wild card, and then also Papu winning a step. Okay, so maybe you can present your prediction there as well.
Yeah, I see my picks now, and I don't remember that I picked those 3. But yeah,
were you drunk?
I mean, I did this thing twice. I don't know if you did it, and I think I changed some of my picks. I don't know who I picked the first time and then the second time. But anyway, I think that Cole Jr. and Gwen and Pack should at least secure me those 5+ points, so I get 15 points and not afraid of losing any points. But I don't know. Now that I see it, you can end up with like 30 points, like a maximum. And yeah, I think maybe your tactic is let's get 4 more minus points for wrong. Come on, Bobby, fix that. Let's have -5 for wrong as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, we also talked about that, Bobby and me, before that. But I mean, it's the first time we're doing something like that. And for season number 4, dude, already season number 4 coming up like this year as well. Like just starting with season 3, it's going so fast, and we of course will adapt the point system then, and also like how you get points. It's pretty confusing at the moment, also for me, but we're gonna do that. And you can also see the most common answers from the community before we go into Nekura's and Phoebe's pick. We can see Cole Jr., Gwen, Pack, and Papu. Then Cole Jr., Gwen, Muda, and Pack. Cole Jr., Gwen, Muda, Pack, and Papu. Cole Jr., Gwen, and Pack. And maybe you can see Cole Jr. and Gwen everywhere, and then also Pack occurring everywhere, which is cool to see. And this leaves us with the community going for Cole Jr., Gwen, Pack, and Papu as their pick. That was just the most common answer. And yeah, I mean, Nekura went for kind of the same pick as the community, or just the same pick as the community. And then Phoebe has also added the one and only, the man, the myth, the legend, Kappa into that. So Kappa.
Yeah, she hasn't called Junior, like what? She has Mura and
yeah,
Kappa,
yeah,
true,
true that actually.
That's ballsy.
Yeah, that's very ballsy, not picking Cole Jr., the veteran of the Trackmania Grand League, not to that. And I mean, really interesting to see that. And Nekura is saying that he went for safe picks. Definitely agree. Pretty good ones. I went for Scrappy and also Bren for some ballsy picks, just because you only get -1 point. So I just couldn't care less about that. But I think that the 4 picks from Nekura are definitely the picks that are the most likely to occur. And then, well, why didn't you go for Papu? Actually,
I think I predicted him the first time I did this speedrun. I think I changed him and Pack once I did this sort of thing. So in the end, I guess I went for Pack. But looking at this, I think I should start to motivate either Cole either Gwen or either Pack. Because if they win 6 steps, I'm gonna be the one who takes the least amount of minus points and win this. So I'm once again I'm feeling confident about this because either a lot of people wins this, or let's say that Carl Jr. wins 3, Gwen wins 2, Pack wins 1. I win this again, so I feel good that I'm alone with having 3 picks, because then I share that 20 points alone if I win.
Yeah, maybe. We're gonna see. I mean, it's also about the fun and the competition in there. So that concludes number 7. Let's go actually to number 8 here. So number 8 is halftime podium. Give the top 3 players after 3 steps. That was an interesting one for me.
Yeah, I think I forgot to read after 3 steps, but yeah, I'm gonna back my pick once again.
Okay,
it's
so
the same 3 players as I had for the last one. So yeah, I have strong beliefs in 3 players, that's for sure.
we see a pattern from Eric's side.
Yeah, and the pattern once again, the community person of the year 2019 and 2020 is backing the community. I'm so leading the community and I have them backing me. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good pick, and I would say the default pick. And I went for Peck and then Scrappy a second, because I think he will win in one of the first 3 steps. So I made like a little bit of a story, you know, that in my head, that I was like, okay, Scrappy will win step 2 with 73 points. I don't know, like, you know, getting my picks in there. Maybe that will happen. Everything can happen in this competition, of course. And I think that it will be Carl Jr. And then just behind that, there will be Gwen, of course, because there is no top 4 or top 5 without Gwen. And I think behind that, we're gonna see a close battle as well, because I think this season will be very close. So Pack, of course, since I'm casting for Eminem, I will pick Pack in first, because he looked very strong last season. Just had some struggles in some steps where he couldn't really practice too much. But yeah, I think he will be first. Hopefully I can encourage you with that, Tom, but we're gonna see. So Nikura went for Carl Jr. Papu, also a good pick, I would say. And Scrappy as P3. Also a good pick, I would say. Carl Jr. in first is always good. Then Papu, yeah, why not? I think it will be super close, as I've said beforehand. And then there is Scrappy as P3. So what do you think about that? That you cannot see Gwen in both Nikura's and my pick, Eric.
And Phoebe. And Phoebe.
Yeah,
so
and
I'm
Phoebe as well, true.
Quote-unquote expert, together with the community who has Gwen. So once again, this is going to be 20 points to 80 cooldown. But one thing that seems to be a pattern is that if this season is going well for Murra, I think Phoebe is winning this, because she is essentially the only one picking him here.
True.
So if he's doing good, well, we don't have a chance, I guess. But if Gwen is doing good, I'm winning this, and Gwen is gonna do good. So easy points, good luck fighting for then 3rd place, because I'm gonna share that 1st place together with the community.
Yeah, maybe we're gonna see. But it's interesting to see that you have the same pick as the community again. So there you can see that you're the community person, right? So spot on again. That is really cool to see. But a very interesting category, of course. Everything can happen there. And I mean, every player in here on this list, and then of course you can include like almost every player, can make it into the top 3. So yeah, we gotta find out. Maybe we're gonna see some surprise already tomorrow. And yeah, let's go to the next category, which will be category number 9. So let's go here. We have the fast guys. Give the number of different players setting fastest laps. The closest get most points. Yeah, look who's Mr. Community.
9 though.
Yeah.
So essentially, yeah, over half of the players will essentially set the fastest lap.
Yes.
Okay. Maybe I misunderstood this, but I think I don't like that Necro is lower than me, because let's say that if only Gwen is gonna be the fastest guy, then he's gonna get those points and I'm not gonna be that. So I don't like that I'm in the middle here. But
yeah, as well as Phoebe, right? She's at 8. Yeah.
I'm like in a sandwich, so and probably in the wrong side of the sandwich, because maybe it's gonna be higher than 7, and then Phoebe is gonna get them and you're gonna get them. So but yeah, can you name like some people that you feel confident about getting a fastest lap? Like, do you have already someone that you are more or less locked in, and then have some potential contenders that is doing your 9 number as it is?
Yeah, I have to open up the... Wait, so let me do it by my head. So, Carl Jr., Gwen, Pack, Papu, Link, Afi, Massa, Scrappy.
You're just naming all the players in Track Meeting Ground.
Yeah, I mean, I went for 9, and then like maybe Spam even, or Cup. Did I mention Kappa? So I actually think that this will be a very close season, and also like players like Link joining, and also Muda, of course. I forgot him. Very fast-paced player. I think that they will also elevate the pace with that, and also that the rounds will be much closer. So I think, yeah, look, even Aurel is backing me up, and also a player that can be there. I think 9 is a good one, and it was also in the previous season 9. So I think my pick is actually pretty comfortable, and maybe I can beat you here, Eric.
Yeah, I think I would have done different now that I start to think about it. Maybe I shouldn't have speedrun this, trying to do it fastest, but maybe I get some extra points for actually answering the sort of sheet fastest, because I didn't use too much time thinking about it. 7 seems like a lucky number, right? Lucky 7s.
Yeah, I mean, also a good pick, and maybe you're like, okay, maybe there's the bounty for 100 euro. I mean, you can also argument like that there will be...
Yeah, Carl Jr.
Yeah.
I should have chance to just put 1, because he's...
Maybe.
This is fast flap, this is not...
True.
Win though, so maybe I would probably have predicted otherwise, but I'm gonna back my pick. But I felt confident in other categories more than I do about this one.
Yeah, okay, all good. So let's go to the next one here. It's already category number 10 we have coming up here. So hopefully I didn't miss anything. But yeah, it is so close yet so far. Which player would be first if there wasn't points loss? Ah, look. Now...
Well, this was a fun category.
There was a...
different players we can talk about. Yeah, yeah, two players.
Yeah, so Gwen and Carl Jr. you can see here. Can we skip this category? Massa gets PTSD from that. But I think that Gwen could suffer from point loss in this season. So that was like my storyline that I've like put together in my head when I did that. So I just went for Gwen, that he will be first, but will only get top 3 in the ending, you know, like 2nd or 3rd. Can everything happen? Maybe just some unfortunate stuff on the map. I don't know, misjudging an identity or stuff like that. But yeah, I also went for Gwen as you, and also that's it for Gwen. And then we have 3 Carl Jr. picks by Nikira, and then also Phoebe, who hasn't voted for Carl Jr. into the top 3, if I recall correctly. And then also the community went for Carl Jr.
I feel confident. I feel like me and you are going to be more correct. I think Carl Jr. is just going to be happy with being top 8, and then Gwen is probably still going to be like, step 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to no-life them, so yeah. Eric disagree with the community. I don't know. The community disagree with me. That's the wrong part here, because it's obvious that Gwen should be like winning here. I feel confident, right? You do as well, right?
Yeah, I do as well. I mean, I think that Gwen is, of course, one of the fastest players. It can go either way, but I mean, you're changing your mind like a pair of socks or something like that. It feels like, but no, all good.
If you asked me to do it today, I would probably have answered, and probably not someone else, but in the other categories, I could have switched easily fast. So.
Yeah, and I mean,
stupid category. You don't have to be mad at the categories. It's just for fun.
Yeah, it's only for fun, Massa. It's not here Trickmania granting. There's no prize pool. But if we take a look into the points loss, actually, if we take a look, there's only one position change that is occurring. Can you spot it? Can you spot the position change in the top 8? Can you spot it?
I have no life, so I follow Trackmania Grounding too closely. So I know that Massa is the one, because he's in the playoffs by... If it wasn't point loss, or yeah, if it wasn't point loss and they play exactly the same way, he would be in and Kappa would be out. So
yeah,
Massa is jumping up 2 positions, and Spam and Kappa, I guess, is jumping in 1 down.
That's why we should go to the next one. All right, let's go to the next category then, as we have category number 11 coming up then. Let's take a look onto that, as we have this one here, Usain Bolt. Yeah, who will win the most fastest lap bonuses?
Look at the community person, and look at the community prediction. 81 predicted Gwen. Where is Carl Jr. at the prediction? Nobody from the community predicted Carl Jr. it seems.
Yeah, no one.
And nobody of the experts. What the?
Should I name why I picked Massa?
Sure.
Massa, hopefully you won't unfollow now. But I think I think you're gonna have the fastest laps because you're gonna make mistakes, or you tend to make mistakes more.
Whoa.
And with that, you will just go for it, like, fuck it, I'm gonna go for the fastest lap.
Whoa. Good thing you ain't casting Massa, that's for sure.
I'm sorry, Dennis. I'm sorry, man. But yeah, I mean, Gwen and also Muda, pretty good picks there, I would say. And I mean, also the community is going for Massa here. And then also Kappa, Papu, also a very good pick. But what is really coming as a surprise, I was actually thinking that Carl Jr. was way up there with Gwen. And then also like Papu and Peck also. So that we do not also see like Massa and Muda representing second and third. But also like where's Carl Jr.? Where's Carl Jr.?
Yeah, I guess maybe Carl Jr. is maybe known for being just more average on the laps he's driving, and those averages are fast, but maybe not fastest. While Gwen can suddenly have the fastest laps. I think it was pretty clear last season as well. He had the fastest laps, right? For most amount of fastest laps.
Yeah. None other
So
than...
once again, if Murder does well, then Phoebe's going to win this.
Yeah.
So she's playing all in on the Australian Penguin, while I'm somewhat going all in on the French player Gwen. And I feel more confident that Gwen is going to do well than Murder. So I'm feeling more and more confident as the picks goes on here. It's between me and the community, I think, in the end.
Yeah, we're gonna see it. I mean, it's also only about fun, and some things are so hard to predict. So, yeah. So
if
next,
if I win, I'm gonna say that this is prestigious. But if I lose, I'm gonna say it's just for fun, right?
okay. So we have the next category, and there's also a comparison to Fall 2020, which step will see the biggest amount of lost points. I went for step 1, and I'm alone with that. 3 people went for step 4, or like the community as well, Phoebe and also Eric. So Mr. Community again. And then there is Nekura who went for step 3. So maybe you guys can give your reasons for that.
Imagine giving reasons. Maybe I can somewhat
You can.
base it. I can actually, maybe. Because I think maybe step 1 is going to be too hard, simply because it's probably going to be the most no-life step. So it's maybe harder to collect points that you eventually can lose. But maybe once you get into step 4, that maybe people are going to see as it's not that important, because step 1, the most important steps are gone, and step 6 is yet to come up, so I still have chances. But then you allow other people to collect points, maybe have a superior step, maybe get up to the 90-point range before step 6 or map 6, and then they lose those points. So then the total amount of points that you gain is going to be easier to lose again, I guess. I don't know if that makes mistake. That made sense, that it's maybe easier to have the possibility of gaining a lot of points, and then you still have the opportunity to lose them. So yeah, but it's hard to predict this. Not gonna act like this is like based on really good reasons.
Okay, fair point there. I mean, I was actually picking step 1 because it's also, you said it's the hardest step to collect points, but it's also the easiest one to lose points because it will be so stacked. So one small mistake actually will cost you the points. So let's say, I mean, I don't know, maybe like someone with 50 plus points. I don't want to name anyone here. Hopefully this won't happen, of course, tomorrow. But of course, it tends to happen more because people just had the chance of playing those tracks longer than the other maps. So I think that that they are all prepared, and that's why I think that they will. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, they can play map 5 and 6 for 3 weeks instead of 1 week. So that's a huge difference, if you ask me. And that's why I picked step 1, because also map 5 and 6 will be so in their blood, as well as the other maps, that they will be so no life on that. That's why I picked step 1.
We are trying to sort of base this on good reasons, but in the end, this is a point system that is, yeah, it's impossible to predict, right? Because if some player has 90 points going into map 6, he can keep those points, and step 4 is still not going to be like step that lose a lot of points. But if one player does a mistake, then that can influence the whole winning of the biggest amount of points. So But a fun category. I'm gonna follow step 4 closely and hope that the people who go into step or map 6 with a lot of points, they hopefully will lose them.
Yeah, I will compare then the other steps with step 1 and the pointless, so I have the easier task, right? But yeah, let's go to the next category. As we are already through that, we have only 4 categories left, so we have a nice pace going through here, not too long, not too short. So we have the outsiders who will end up on the podium after step 6. And there's like a typo in there, apart only with 1 P. Apart from Gwen and Carl Jr. So what apart means is besides, you know, besides Gwen and Carl Jr. So you had to exclude Gwen and Carl Jr. So that means that it means that you have a complete new top 3 going into that category. Like everyone went for that, kind of. Right?
Yeah, maybe now that I see you only have 2, is it like, let's say that Gwen and Carl Jr. gets on the podium, should I only have predicted 1 there? Or should then be, let's say that Carl Jr. and Gwen gets top 2, then it's going to be 3, 4, and 5 as the sort of podium?
No. It's only like, yeah, it's only the 3rd place then that matters, apart from him.
Oh,
it was
really?
misunderstood. It was misunderstood.
Then you can remove. Is it too late, Bobby? Because Gwen and Carl Jr. is gonna end up on the podium, right? So then I would only pick 1 of the 3 I have, but I'm still gonna back my choices and say that Papu and Norrell is gonna end up on the podium, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it will be a close battle. That Pack will battle it out for 1st, 2nd, maybe even 3rd, but then also that Scrappy will battle for top 3 here. So yeah, but we can also see different picks here. I mean, everyone went for Pack in the top 3, which is like remarkable to see that we all have faith in Pack. That is really cool. Then also we see a lot of Papu. Also, I was also contemplating about picking him. Then you went for Aurel. Definitely a pick that I would not see in the top 3, but in the top 5, actually.
Yeah, let me ask you, where did he end up last time? It was a winter season.
Wasn't he
number 3? Number 3, right?
In winters? Yeah, true that. He was behind Papu and Riolu, right? Yeah, true. He was 3rd. True that. Yeah, definitely also a player that, I mean, is capable of doing very well. So Aurel, a good pick, I would say. And a pick that no one else has gone for. So, nice there.
Yeah, that is good for me.
Yeah, that's very good.
If Gwen, Jr. and Aurel wins, then I'm gonna get 5 points and then 2 minus points, and then I'm gonna be the one with most points. So once again, I feel confident, even though I completely misunderstood that category, I guess.
Okay, let's see. Nekura's here. Pack and Papu are safe choices. Afi showed us how much he was, how strong he was at the end of the season, and even top 1 if Gwen did a mistake, and top 3 if it didn't choke on map 5 and 6. Yeah, definitely. Afi was almost able to win the group stage through that. So Afi also a pick that we are only seen at Nekura's side, and also a pick as well as you. Besides, I mean, you went for the same pick only for the 3rd position. You have Aurel and then also Afi in there, so a very reasonable pick as well, I would say. And then for Phoebe, we have also Kappa in there, and then also Muda. So Kappa and Muda. So oof, I think Muda could make it to the top 8, I think, but top 3 in his 1st season. Do you think that this could happen to Muda, or do you think that he is, not overrated, but that he will have a harder time?
Depends on what you mean by can happen, because of course it can happen. But
yeah, of course,
could happen, then I would say no. But I said it in my sort of tier list that he is the hardest player I have. I have the hardest time placing him in a certain spot because he's new. He has a unique skill level or a unique skill set rather. So yeah, it's hard to predict. But I guess this ends up being like Pack is completely useless in this prediction, because if he gets that 3rd place or gets on the podium, everybody gets points. Papu is also somewhat useless because 3 have predicted him. So it's essentially Scrappy, Aurel, Offie, Kappa, and Mada that can change something here, depending on who ends up 1st. So maybe you are the one who might smile the most after this category, because Scrappy can do really good here.
Yeah, I was also almost going for Papu here, or I was also thinking about Afi, But this season will be so hard. And if you just think, okay, oh, Afi is good. And then you're like, oh, there's also Papu. And like, it's impossible to really predict that. And it's not meant in a mean way, of course. But it's just so hard to really predict that top 3. Since this season is the best or the most stacked season that we've seen in general. And it will be just so hard to predict that. Okay, let's go to the next category. Category number 14 is coming up here. So we have 3 more with that. So welcome to the Pantheon. Give the names of each new map winners. Comparison to Fall 2020. So on Fall 2020, we had 9 map winners by Yannex and Matt of unfortunately not winning a map. So we have 5 people who haven't won a map thus far. We have a Brand who hasn't won a map, Link, then also Riolu. Then there is Scrappy and Muda. So of course the newcomers, explanatory, and then the other 3 players by Bran, and then also Scrappy and Riolu who haven't won a map yet. So I went for 4 picks, community went for 5, you went for 3, then also Nekura went for 3, and then there is Phoebe who went for 2. But what do we all have in common? No one of us bet for Riolu. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I guess it's a fair pick. I don't know if he even won a map in his good season where he ended up second. So...
I think 1, yeah. I think 1.
Exactly. So even if he does really well, that we all hope he will do, he's still not a candidate for, or a natural candidate for winning a map. He's more likely to be second, third, etc., etc. So you can of course pick him like the community did, but I feel more strongly that Brand has the pace to do that, Mud has the pace to do that, Scrappy has the pace to do that. So it was essentially who is known to have a fast enough pace to be a winner candidate, and then I went for those 3 and eliminated Riolu and Link. But I feel confident here as well. I like that Phoebe didn't go for Bren winning a map because I think he will, and then naturally she's likely going to be out of the battle because I have the same picks as her, Mura and Scrappy as well. So in the end, it's going to be depending on Link winning a map or not, because that if he wins it, then you win it together with the community. So, but I like this pick. I like that. I like my Nekura's chances here. Me and my French caster there.
So I think I'm gonna win this category because Link has shown how fast he is. He's such a fast player and also very consistent. So that's why I think that Link will definitely win a map and that you guys will miss out on 5 points there. For Muda, yeah, hit or miss. I think he's like a candidate like Riolu, but a little bit faster. And then there's Bren. I was actually surprised seeing him on this list that he didn't win a map. But yeah, I think he only got 2nd or 3rd there. And yeah, so I think Scrappy and also Bren will definitely win a map. And then Link is like more likely to win a map than Muda. But yeah, that's just my perception for that. But I mean, again, you can't go either way. But I was surprised that you didn't go for Link there.
Yeah, I mean, he can win it, but I don't think that's really likely. I mean, it's going to compete against the best of the best in the world, and even getting a map win is going to be insane. So, but I of course hope that he will do it, but I hope for the personal reason that he will do it. But looking at the bet, I don't hope he will do it, right?
I also hope that Riolu is winning maps.
Course.
You know, it's not like meaning in a bad mood here or something like that. So don't get that wrong.
We are nice guys. Community person of the year, nominated for caster of the year. These are community persons predicting this, right?
Yeah. Okay. Let's go to the next one here, as we have number 15 is. I feel like I missed something. I don't know.
I mean, we have missed something, and that's 2 of the people that predicted to be on this voice channel. So,
yeah, true.
Yeah, you have missed something.
Let's go back again then. Okay. So let's go back again. I'm sorry, guys. I'm completely sorry here. So we have Nekura, and then also Phoebe, of course. And yeah,
not meant like that. I mean,
yeah,
we missed something, and that is for them to be on this voice. I was expecting to have hard battles voice to voice. Now it's just me and you smooth talking here. I wanted some hard discussions, but they are sadly only in chat.
Yeah, but we actually went over those scenes again. So yeah, I got you wrong there. So let's just go to the next one here, as we have number 15 is coming up. Quick maths. So some Evon step 3 points. Massa amount of fastest laps. Bren's maps 1. Riolu's rank. Can you believe that? Nikura,
38.
you and me. 38 points.
Jeez.
That is unbelievable.
This is the most random category, that's for sure.
Yeah. So how that works, so everyone has, let's say, 21 points in that third step. So 21 plus...
21 or?
Huh?
I think I predicted 21.
Me?
Yeah, like, I think I wrote 21 when I predicted this.
Well, can we get some information coming in, what we predicted here for those things? That would be good.
If it's just the same, then the fucking Illuminati.
What if
Yeah,
everyone...
I mean, I think we are pretty good here because maybe if everyone gets like 3 points on step 3, then we are winning simply because we are the lowest number here. So, and if everyone wins, then Phoebe is winning. So, the community is having the worst position here.
Yeah,
they're in the sandwich,
true.
so they have to hit it pretty much head on.
Okay, so I went for 17 plus 7. So I think that Massa will set 7 fastest laps. Wait, what? Dude, Massa.
24. Okay.
Wait, what? I think that's like... Dude, that's so much. Like,
Okay.
7 fastest laps on 36 maps. I mean, that's
Yeah.
more than 1 fastest lap per step.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's fine. But yeah, 24-4-1 is better, actually. That's a very good pick, actually, by you.
Thanks. But in the end, it's just the final number that counts. So
Yeah.
we are gonna share that first place because we are winning this.
No, I think actually we're gonna lose that. It will be be a way higher number. Phoebe's gonna win that category.
Depends on Evon. Everything depends on Evon.
Yeah, everything depends on Evon. So Evon, don't collect points.
Yeah, you can collect points on 5 steps, but not step 3, please.
Yeah. All depends there. True that. So all depends on those step 3 points. If he gets a bad step there, then we're gonna be happy, and if not, yeah. Okay, so let's go for the next category here, as we have category number... wait. Yeah, we had category number 50, so that's already number 16 here coming up. Alright. So that's the last category already, but we're gonna go through that. So I think, I have the feeling I've missed something. But who will score the most points? Imagine voting for yourself. It's like voting for...
You and Phoebe are the only one that didn't vote for yourself, essentially. But look at the community. If they didn't have to pick themselves, yeah, they would have put the person that is closest to the community. That is myself.
Yeah, I mean, you can also see it here in the chart at the right, on the right. We have you as from us 4 people having the most amount of votes. So that's also like you representing that the people are thinking that you're gonna win. And I mean, yeah, it's hard to say actually who wins now. But maybe you guys can guess a little bit who's winning out from us 4 now. Because I think Eric has some good picks, but also like Phoebe and Nikura have good picks there. By just having like ballsy picks by Phoebe not mentioning Carl Jr. and Gwen in the top 3 and something like that. And yeah, I was just going for the community because I was thinking the average is just going through there. But I mean, well, then I'm just thinking that I'm not winning, so that's a loser mentality, right?
I mean, either you win points here, or maybe if you win this competition, then we win the competition. So maybe a win-win. But what is going to be funny if that you are like, let's say, equal to the community, and you vote for the community here, or that will be wrong because then you're going to get the same amount of points here. But let's say that if you had the opportunity to overtake me, but you didn't predict yourself as the best, then yeah. You can essentially jinx yourself here and avoid yourself if you are doing well here.
Yeah, Eric is overthinking too much, true.
That's the fun part. Overthinking much and predicting myself, so yeah, easy. But would you change your pick now that you've seen how each of us has predicted?
Good question, actually. Yeah, I mean, I went for the approach that it's the average. But seeing the picks, I think it actually will be between... Yeah, I mean, Phoebe can win, I think. But she can only win...
Mudda has to do well then.
Yeah, Muda
It's
has to do
essentially-
well. And then also
He has
Kappa.
so much foundation on him. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was like one. I see Kappa sort of saying that. No surprise when he picks are like Kappa in top 3.
Yeah. So Nekura had also very interesting picks, I have to say. Like, also, like, let's say the Afi top 3 bet. I considered that, but, like, also very ballsy picks. And you went for, like, a little bit like me, a little bit safer, but we had some... Yeah, I don't know. I think it will be between me and you, actually.
Yeah, I think I would rate myself first. Maybe the community is too optimistic, so maybe you second and then the community, Necro and then Phoebe.
Yeah, something like that. But I think like something like that. I will be on in the top 3. Or if it will be a interesting TMGL season, then it could also be Nekura or Phoebe winning. But for that, of course, there has to be people performing good. So Kappa and Muda, if you watch that.
Yeah, I just have to have some few people doing well, like the big 3, Gwen, Carl Jr. and Pack.
Yeah.
If those do well, and only them, then see ya, I'm winning this.
Yeah, but also like those random categories will decide a lot. But how can you say where Afi's getting those points and stuff like that? That will be crazy. So I mean, that's it kind of. So at least my true answer to this question was, who are those guys with me? Wait, did you answer that? Wow, that is so mean, man. Wow. Can we report a Nekura?
I mean,
To Nadir?
it just shows his true self, because one of the options were the community, and he's like, who are those? I mean, he's not caring about the community. At least I acknowledged them, but I said that I'm at least going to be better than them. But I still had respect for them.
Yeah.
Necra is now like not the community person of the year 2021 at least.
Yeah, okay, so those are the 16 categories. There we have it. And I think it's a cool way to do that. So the origin of that is from Formula 1. There's also some sort of betting league involved into that. I didn't know that something like that would happen, but I mean, it's a little bit of a fun event, and also to heat you guys a little bit up, because Trackmania Grand League is starting tomorrow, and I will be casting for Eminem. So just gonna announce that here, will be announced tomorrow on Twitter. But really looking forward to that. And then there will be also so many cool casts coming up. Eric, I think you're not involved in a cast, right?
Imagine casting Trackmania Grand League. Imagine being biased. I'm unbiased, and the community needs someone to be unbiased, and I'm taking that role. But you can see me casting on Twitter, I guess, because I'm probably gonna write a lot of tweets there.
Yeah, so really looking forward to that. Will be an interesting 5 weeks again that are starting tomorrow. And we're gonna see, so 6 steps, 5 weeks, so whatever. And we're gonna see who's taking that prediction here. And also, I mean, the most important, who's gonna be in the top 8 and in the bottom 4, you know? That will be, I think, the most important. That's fun, but I think we're gonna have the reveal stream, or who's gonna take it, just... yeah, after the Trackmania Grand League, I think like some days after or a week after. So really looking forward to that. And thank you also for joining in, Eric, today. That was a lot of fun talking a little bit with you again. Has been a long time since we had a talk.
Yeah, nice at least that one joined me on this voice channel. I was expecting like Necro and Phoebe also to step up.
Yeah.
Some hard battles, some hard discussions, but at least you are a man of your words and you step up, so I appreciate at least you being here, so I don't have to be here all by myself, even though probably people would like that as well, right? The Community Person of the Year 2021, go and vote already.
Yeah. Well, I just did all the... oh, good. Yeah, we got that. So we're gonna see ourselves on the streams tomorrow, so feel free to watch my stream or a virtual stream or a geek stream or Nikura stream. All of them are doing a fantastic job when it comes to casting. There are plenty of casts, 16 casts are there. So pick the one that you want to do or that you want to pick. And yeah, have a great evening, guys. It's Saturday. Enjoy the time. Stay healthy and take care. So goodbye, and we will see you tomorrow.
Cuba Libre, hello.